Now that it's looking like we're going to have some extra hours in our week for video games, it's good timing that Nintendo put a bunch of eShop titles on sale. And it is a very eclectic list. We'll call it the quarantine sale, as they're putting multiplayer, single player, old and new on sale. Some super good deals that I cannot wait to share with you. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Let me know in the comments down below which of these games you are keeping your eye on, which one you recommend others pick up, if it might be a favorite that you have on your system already. Before we get into the list, I just want to tell you, Nintendo updated their website. I really liked the way that the website looked when you would track different games and see what their prices were, their sales, but they updated it for this more like minimalist, modern flair, and I don't know that I like it so much. We've got a lot of blockiness. The game stuff is straight in the middle. If you notice what the old site looked like, I preferred that. Anyhow, I also prefer Ultimate Chicken Horse, which is on sale, seeing a 40% discount until March the 19th. It's $8.99, and it is definitely worth $9. Less than the price of a movie, and you don't have to worry about anybody coughing or sneezing on you. You just have to worry about getting to the end of the stage before your opponents do. And what makes Ultimate Chicken Horse unique is you're building the stage as you go by placing obstacles, by placing platforms, by placing things that are going to try and kill the poor animals of this colorful game. It is a very fun, quirky platformer, and I love that you get to make it as hard or as easy as you want. You and your friends get to make it as hard or as easy as you want. It has online and local play, so you don't even have to leave your house or have anybody over. It has PC and Switch crossplay, so if somebody you know has it on PC, or if you have it on PC, recommend it to a friend, and then you can share and play together. I think this is a home run hit on Switch. It's one of those fantastic multiplayer games, right up there with Speedrunners and Towerfall. Grab it. Jackbox Party Pack is putting multiple of their party packs on sale, 2 and 3. 3 is the one I'm going to go with. It is 40% off until March 23rd, down to $14.99. Now, my favorite Jackbox game of all time is Drawful. Drawful is not in either of these packs. You can get Drawful separately, but what I love about Jackbox Party Pack 3 is it has Trivia Murder Party, which is my favorite straight trivia game. You know, if you're someone who used to like Trivial Pursuit back in the ancient times, or if you like just straight up answering questions, Trivia Murder Party is the way to go. It houses everything in a very creepy but still super fun game show style, where you're competing against each other and people can die along the way. Now, it's not a permanent type of death, because even if you die, you'll still get to participate in the big finale at the end, which is a rush to see who can answer questions quickly and not get too many wrong. It's just got a very fun host. It's got a very fun vibe and theme. Some people don't like it because it's a little creepy, and the intro movie is really intense. It's something that Gabe Lewis would have made back at Dunder Mifflin, but I love this pack also for Guesspionage, where you have to guess different percentages of things, what percentage of people have written on bathroom stalls sometime in their life. You've got Quiplash 2, you've got Fakin' It, where you're trying to catch who is lying. Those games are always fun. And you have TKO, where you get to design t-shirts. I think this is one of the most excellent packs that Jackbox has put together. They've got another one coming out this fall, but in the meantime, grab this guy. All right, next up is my personal hidden gem of the list. Bling, bling, bling. This one is the one I say you gotta get it. It's $1.49, 90% off until March 25th, is Super Chariot. $1.49. This is a cooperative platformer that originated on Xbox years ago. I liked it a lot then. You can play solo, but co-op is the way to go, and you're pulling this chariot as Little King and Little Queen, and the chariot is physics-based, heavy, and it's very hard to maneuver. So you've got to work together to cross chasms, to make little jumps, to go up and down hills, to avoid obstacles, and it has beautiful art. It just looks fantastic on Switch. It is absolutely wonderful. They claim over 60 hours of gameplay. 60 hours of gameplay, 25 levels, so if you do the math, that's a lot of minutes per level, because they are hard. And I think if there's anything that's off-putting about Super Chariot, it's that it's more difficult than its cutesy cartoon look makes you think it would be. It is a pretty darn challenging game. You can play in local multiplayer. It is a really good bonding experience. And if you're holed up inside, it's a lot of gaming, and one that you probably haven't played or seen, and it's only $1.49. So if you're low on income, you're low on cash right now, you're already overspent because of Animal Crossing, the price point is just like impossible to beat. I love this one. South Park: The Fractured Butthole is really not my style, but at $14.99 from a full $60, this game is currently 75% off till March 23rd, and I know a lot of people like it. It brings this superhero Avengers style idea and antics to the first game, the first game that they also have on Switch, the Stick of Truth. And this one is a more complex combat system. I don't know if the overall fan reaction was better or worse to this game, but I remember when I demoed both of them, I liked the combat in Fractured Butthole much better. So if you're into South Park, this is your kind of thing. You want a bigger, beefier game, $14.99, not too bad, and I think it'll give you a lot of hours of adult RPG action. Civ 6 has been on sale a lot as of late, but I still got to point it out. It's on sale 50%, down to $29.99 till March 22nd, and my hope is that the more and more people that buy Civ 6, the more and more that 2K will say, hey, the Switch is the place to play. We saw that rumor about the BioShock collection. My fingers are permanently crossed for that one. If you like this game, it works really well on Switch. It looks pretty darn good on Switcheroo, and it gives you a lot of different scenario packs and updates, and it is half off. So it is a pretty darn sweet package, and I feel like every dollar 2K sees hit their bank account from Switch owners, the more likely we are to get the rest of their catalog, which I would love to see happen. The more big publishers that will bring their big third-party titles to the system, the better. Now, I'm bringing in an oddball here, and you may say, why are you recommending Rico? It's only 25% off till March 22nd. It's $15. Well, I'm doing this as kind of a hey, this would be Gabe's pick, because Gabe loved Rico when it first came out. It is this cooperative shooter. You go room from room, clearing out the enemies. The controls are actually pretty solid, and they just came out with their big DLC update, their big pack. You do have to buy that separately. Unfortunately, it's not included. But you've got these procedurally generated cases. You can play online or locally. Cooperatively, you can play solo if you want, but it's a lot more fun with a friend than by yourself. There are these daily cases as well that Gabe was really into, where it kind of gives you a new mission, new reward, new leaderboard every day, like a single run type thing. Pretty cool. The game surprised me. I thought it would just be completely throwaway, and while it's nothing to really write home about, especially since you're going to be home probably for a while, it is still enjoyable. And $15, it's not as good of a deal as something like Super Chariot or Ultimate Chicken Horse or even South Park, but if you want cooperative FPS action on Switch that just got DLC and updates, and it is a Gabe seal of approval game, then this is a good one to get. Overcooked 2, we don't need to talk about it, but it is on sale until March 22nd for 40% off, and if you don't have Overcooked 2, you got to get it. Now is the time. Now is the time. Well, I mean, every time is the time, but now is really the time. It is the best, I think that's safe to say, right? The best cooperative title on Switch. It's just so much fun. They've added a lot of DLC, different new chefs, different new arenas, different new styles, different new recipes. Oh, it's just brilliant. So many games try to riff on this. We've seen a lot lately with moving, or with there's an upcoming one with I think it's carrier pigeons and mail service or something like that. A lot of games trying to take the ideas of fast-paced, clock-driven cooperative action where the antics are in the mistakes and the goofs, and move it to different genres or different topics, I guess, different overarching themes, but none have done it as good as Overcooked. Overcooked 2 is supreme indie cooperative gaming goodness. You gotta get it. Jamestown Plus is one I have never mentioned before, but it's on sale currently, 50% off till March 26th for $8.99. This is a shooter, back when shooter meant vertical scrolling, but it's got big bosses, it's got very nice graphics, it's got upgrades, and it has up to 4-player co-op, which is something I wanted to sort of prioritize here if you need something to do since you're not going to be going out as much. It is a 17th century British colonial Mars. Pretty cool scenario. I like it a lot, and it's really just a different one that we don't see on sale as often, and not one of the titles that we talk about over and over and over again. So I wanted to include it here. If you like shooters in this style, it is one of the really good ones from the last 5-6 years or so. Children of Morta is a very nice roguelite action game based around family. And now family takes precedent, so why the heck not? Local co-op, and they say they're adding online co-op. There's 6 playable characters. They have brought in a DLC pack already. What is the price? It is $14.73, which is an odd choice. It is 33% off, though. That's why they did it that way until March the 30th. So you got some time they threw their Metacritic onto the Nintendo Switch page, which is so odd to me that on their like title art they wanted to put the 80 Metacritic, but hey, at least you know it got good reviews, and it's a quality title. It has really pretty backgrounds, pretty neat graphics, and again, you're working with this family to improve your characters and get through the different levels. A very fun one, a little bit of a different take than the more room-based Binding of Isaac roguelike that we see very often. Not my favorite roguelike on the platform, but a different one, and if you're into that sort of thing, $14.73 is a pretty good price because this one has stayed around $22 for a while. Blasphemous. Okay, similar to South Park, I have to say, if you are faint of heart or don't like blood, difficult themes, things of that sort, probably not for you. The beginning of this game is insane. Right from the start, you'll know that, oh my goodness gracious, the developers, they're not pulling any punches. It is a fantastic, though, Dark Souls side-scroller, $14.99 until March 22nd. That's good for 40% off. It does have a demo, so you can give it a try. It is intense. It is like this religious-based game where they've got a really good death mechanic. It borrows from Dark Souls a lot, but they've got an interesting death mechanic. They've got a bunch of crazy enemies, a lot of different upgrades, big, challenging bosses, and I felt some nice difficulty that is very hard, but isn't like, oh, you're dying every 5 seconds. So it balances that pretty nice. If you can stomach the fact that you're like dumping a crown of blood on your head at the very beginning of the game and your sword has thorns that cut you, I mean, it is intense. Like, of all the games I played on Switch, it's one of the most intense, but I was able to get past that for the fantastic underlying gameplay and the crazy weird creatures and all the upgrades. So if you are able to stomach it, Blasphemous is a fantastic pick. 20XX. Now this one's interesting because 30XX was recently announced, and it looks to be an even better, bigger, more awesome game. No date on that one yet, so in the meantime, you can get 20XX on sale for $8.99. That's 50% off until March 19th. This is a freaking roguelike Mega Man, and they're bringing better graphics, more like Mega Man X style roguelike action soon, but if you want to get in on their first game, it's cheaper and it's available now. You can play this one up to 2 players locally or online, so it does have that cooperative aspect. There's over 100 different power-ups, and all your runs are different. The stages are going to be different. The upgrades are going to be different. The weapons are going to be different. You do have some persistent upgrades, and every death is permanent, so you'll have to then use your currency to make your next little guy a little bit better. It's a very cool idea. Again, one that Gabe did like, so I'll give him a shout out there. And at $8.99, it's pretty darn good. I know the Mega Man games have been on sale as of late, and if it was up to me, I'd recommend the real deal Mega Man over 20XX. But if you've already played those out, or for some reason you don't like the blue bomber, here is a different blue roguelike bomber for $8.99. The last game of the day is Blossom Tales: The Sleeping King, another one that we haven't really talked about all that much. Blossom Tales is basically Link to the Past. It is 50% off, $7.49 till April 1st, so you got a couple extra days for this one compared to the rest. All these sales are lasting for a while, it seems. Some are only this week, but many last into the last week of March or beyond. They claim 15 hours for this campaign. It has very cool graphics. It's going to basically make you feel like you're playing Link to the Past. And before they brought SNES to the system, this was one that was heavily recommended as like, hey, since you can't play Link to the Past on the Switch, you can play Blossom Tales. But now that there is Link to the Past, maybe you want to play Link to the Past instead, or if you don't have a Nintendo Switch Online, or if you already played Link to the Past a ton and you want something that is going to echo those vibes and bring it back with its own little twist and turns. It does have HD Rumble support, and it does have a lot of cool items and a bunch of very brightly colored, nice 16-bit worlds. And that'll do it for our quarantine sale list here. Hopefully everyone's staying safe. Try not to panic too much. I think we will get through this, even if it seems quite dire at this moment. My pick, of course, is Super Chariot. $1.49, you can't go wrong. There's also great multiplayer gems like Overcooked 2 for $15, Ultimate Chicken Horse for $9, Blasphemous, if you can stomach it, $15 is a great one. And of course, got to give that Gabe seal of approval shout out to Rico at $14.99. What do you guys like from this list? What would you pick up, or what would you recommend to a friend? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you had fun today. Until next time, everybody, subscribe to SwitchForce for all the sales and all the news, and hopefully some direct reactions coming here real soon. Hit that notification bell if you want to be the first to know when they drop. Until that time, everybody, thanks again. Be good to yourself and others out there. SwitchForce out.